How's it going, everyone? Happy Sunday. Go Hawks. Today we're going to be working with this 18.5 pound brisket. Picked it up at a smart food service. This is a beautiful cut of meat. Flat end, very, very thick fat as usual, so it made for a good trim. This here's the flat end, and this is the trimmings over here. About 3.5 pounds, I'd say, give or take. And here's our point end. I decided not to split the point and the flat for this. I like to keep it together for the brisket, and then I chop off the right end there and make that into burnt ends. So I'm using sea salt, applewood rub, and the 16 grit white and black rub from Barbecue to You in Gig Harbor. And I put it all into one bottle. Shake it up. Take some mustard, put it on there for a binding agent, and then do a generous coating of the rub. Top, bottom, middle, right, left, all around. Personally, I don't think you can ever have too much seasoning on something, but you can definitely not have enough. Then I let it sit in the fridge overnight, and for this smoke I'm going to be using cherry pellets. And this is this morning. I sat for about 8 hours. Alright, so in the smoker now, we're gonna do a 225 for about 5 or 6 hours, get that nice smoke ring. And then when it hits the stall point of about 150, 155, we'll take it out, wrap it up in tin foil, and then put some beef broth in the pan and go from there. I love watching the smoke pour to the top of the smoker like this. It's just so mesmerizing. Sorry for the sideways camera view right here, but I fixed it. It's just such a beautiful sight looking at it like that. So I use beef broth as a spray on the meat. It helps give it flavor and keeps it moist at the same time, which is a must. Some people use apple juice or water, but I personally prefer beef broth. You know, you come to like one thing and you tend to stick to it, just depending on the piece of meat you're using. So for brisket, beef broth is my go-to. And I did refill the water tray on the bottom. And so this is after about 6 hours, pulled it out so that way I could wrap it up, and I put more beef broth inside the aluminum foil, and then put it back on the rack and put it back in the smoker for about another 4 hours, so that way it could get up to about 195, 200. And then this is at about 4:30, so this is about 10 hours of smoking later. Took it off, chopped off the end I wanted to use for my burn ends, diced them up into about 1 by 1, length by width, and then about a height varied by the thickness of the meat. God damn, look at that smoke ring. Oof. A smoke ring is a necessity when it comes to smoking. Some beautiful stuff right there. And I like to make a gravy. I like to take the grease and whatnot, the drippings that come off, and mix it with more beef broth, and then add some flour, and that makes a thick gravy. And then cornbread, I'd like to do that, and then half sliced baked potatoes, and then You know, you got the whole fixins, you got the baked potatoes, you got the burnt ends, you got the brisket slices, and then you got cornbread. What more could you ask for? If it's summertime, I like to do corn on the cob with it, but the local Red Barn Market is currently closed as far as I know still. So, I guess this will have to do. The brisket just fell apart. Nothing else